Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between PartinG and Rogue here on Simulacrum. I think I nailed it. I don't know. Top left-hand corner is the blue Protoss player PartinG. And in the bottom right it is the red Zerg player Rogue. Alright guys, this is from Katowice, the qualification rounds of the 2020 tournament that will be held in this month, February 2020. And holy smokes. Hold on a second. Is this too slow? Nope, that was too fast. This is perfect. This is perfection. All right, man. Rogue's going for the 16, 18, 17. PartinG's going for the 1-gate expand with a probe scout. Which just means that he can see if it's a pool first. Right? Right you are. You guys are so smart. Anyway, this is from the winner's bracket and the final of the Asia Server Series 2, which I'm not entirely sure what that means, but dang, there are a lot of replays. There are a lot of replays from Katowice. Probe's looking around just to make sure he didn't throw up a pylon. Rogue sends out a drone. And everything is in order here, says the probe. I'm going to play the minerals game with you and see who will win. Well, he pulled off a drone, so that means that I win, says PartinG. Ha ha ha. Anyway, PartinG is known for his shenanigans, but he's also an incredible StarCraft player in his own right. Like, he doesn't have 100 million subscribers and followers on Twitch just because he's really good at cheese. No siree Bob. He loves his cheese, he loves his proxies, but he also can do this stuff too and hang with some of the best players on Earth. Rogue is a stupidly good Zerg player. Like, really good Zerg player. I mean, I want to say, because Rogue made it to BlizzCon, he made it to the final round of 12 at BlizzCon, he's a little bit better than PartinG, but again, once you're at this level of StarCraft, it just doesn't matter. You can beat anybody, you can lose to anybody. Once you've reached this elite level in StarCraft, Rogue can make a couple mistakes that can really cost him. PartinG could do some stuff that could really cost him. I know right now the matchup is a little bit favored in favor of Zerg. I understand that, but I expect this to be an excellent, excellent game. I have no idea who wins this thing. This is actually part of a larger series, and as the third base comes up for Rogue at about 2:30, he wanted his queens first. I actually debated a bit before casting this whether I wanted to do it as a standalone game or was it a part of a larger series this was part of for my Sunday series. And I decided, you know what, this really long game probably belongs better on its own. And I'll find perhaps a series that doesn't have, you know, a stupidly long game as part of the series. Because, you know, me casting a 2-hour something for your Sunday series solo it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot. And I'm trying not to get burned out. Even though, yeah, I know, I did a bonus cast last week, which maybe wasn't the greatest idea, but hope you enjoyed it. It's just 3 really fun games, calling it my Fun Friday play as a Resonating Glaives comes up for PartinG. Just some games that were sent to me that were just non-standard and weird and really interesting in some way. They're not quite cheese, and they're not quite anything else. Just figured I'd toss them up and hope you enjoyed those. If you missed it, just go back and look through my uploads. I mean, it's going to be a few uploads ago now, but Fun Friday or Fun Day Friday or something along those lines. I don't know what I ended up calling it. I'll think about it. I'm casting this in the past, in case you were curious, on the 5th of February, actually. Anyway, hit that like button if you're really excited for this early adept attack we're seeing from PartinG. I don't think it's quite an all-in, but he is going Resonating Glaives. It does increase the attack speed of adepts by 45%. They temporarily had a bit of a different way that Resonating Glaives worked, but they reverted it back to where it was awesome. And the Overlord comes in with speed in perfect timing to see, hey look, a Twilight Council. Hey look, it's researching something. Hey look, there's a robotics facility. It's probably not going to be Blink Stalkers. That's not really a thing in PvZ. It's going to be adepts. So you make a Roach Roarin and you make roaches, or a Baneling Nest. A Baneling Nest can be really nice too. Throwing up spines in his mineral lines, which is genius. You don't make the spores. You don't need those. You need spines. And here comes PartinG. These are Resonating Glaive Adepts at 4.5 minutes, everyone. Do they just want to take down the third? I think sort of. They just want to take down the third, you guys. And again, Adepts are bad against buildings, but you know what? With Resonating Glaives, they're not horrible. I mean, it takes 4 volleys from all these Adepts to kill 1 Roach, which is not ideal. Warping in some more adepts, kiting, losing an adept. Because again, roaches are kind of the answer here. Ravagers are really good too with their range. But it seems like Rogue has handled this. I gotta say, the adepts pull back. The Overlord scouting around. Rogue didn't lose any drones during that attack, which is really good for him. He's at 41 workers. And he has an army advantage. And he's making more roaches. And the adepts are still trying to find some damage, but I just don't see it. You don't want to finish your transfer in here. You don't want to finish your transfer in here. Okay, that was close. Okay, PartinG figured it out. He decides, when behind, Dark Shrine. If you go for a Resonating Glaives all-in... Oh, well, first of all, get your Dark Shrine scouted. Go for Dark Shrine. Again, coming in. Nope, not happening. Rogue is just on top of it. He's on top of it right now. Don't know how else to explain it necessarily, but... Dun, 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 dun. Man, these adepts just doing work. Really trying to keep the Terran player at bay. And then he's got some DTs. So he's doing the DT thing, despite the fact that, again, he were scouted. Of course, Rogue doesn't have any detection at his third base at all. Nor his natural, actually. And his main does have a Spore, which is nice. Oh, there's an Overseer here. Never mind. Third base is protected, and the Adepts are... Oh, almost finishing it. Third base coming up for PartinG. He's not in a fantastic position, I gotta say. I do love the Overlord move out, though, from Rogue. It's like, you know what? There's nothing here that can shoot up. I've noticed there's not a Stargate from my Protoss opponent. All right, that's a finish. That is a finish inside the main base. 4 drones go down, but Adepts are starting to get killed, too, with the Spine Crawler hits and the Roach hits and the Ravager hits. And they do transfer into the natural base to go after more of these drones, but great pull. I mean, sure, 9 drones down hurts, but it really could be a lot worse. Oh, the Adept count is just getting obliterated. There's 2 remaining. So you just lost how many Adepts? 12 Adepts for effectively 11 drones. Not going to cut it here against Rogue, I'm afraid. Overlord trying to poop creep over this direction. There are Stalkers out now, so you got to be a little bit careful. Ugh, another Adept down. And these roaches are just... merciless. Meanwhile, DT's got into the third base and killed a couple more drones. Even though there was detection present and a queen. It's a pretty good play. And the recall, we get on out. So at this stage of the game, I gotta say PartinG's in trouble. If you go for an Adept all-in versus Rogue and only get 11 drones, it's not really gonna help you in the long run. Spire is coming up from Rogue, which is an interesting choice. Interesting indeed. Blink being researched, and there's a robotics bay here from PartinG. So go in Disruptor. Definitely has some Immortals, which is what you want versus these roaches. The constant scouting from Rogue has just been insane, though. He's been absolutely all over the place, scouting up, scouting down, checking that main base constantly to see what tech is being chosen here by PartinG. A couple Changelings running around, and then got in range of the Warp Prism enough to actually change into Zealots, which is hilarious. And here comes a bit of a Stalker Immortal play, which roaches aren't fantastic against, but you know what's really good against it is Mutalisks and Lings. Oh, Crocobile took down an Observer. I think that was an Observer. Nicely done. A little bit careless there from PartinG, but that's okay. He should be able to recover from that. And it is Disruptors out of that Robotics Bay tech for PartinG. The Immortal count is somehow really terrifyingly high, despite all that was invested into those Adepts early on. But yeah, Ling Roach Mutalisk is really not bad here if you want to engage. Is he doing more DT stuff? He sure is. He gets 6 more drones with it, but now the Warp Prism's in trouble. And in fact, it's gone, and the remaining DT is also killed. So that hurts. I'm not sure that 6 drones was worth losing that Warp Prism and like 4 DTs. Look at this production tab, though. Lurker Den, Infestation Pit, upgrades, more drones, more bases. Rogue's in a fantastic position right now. I mean, his armor supply is okay. And again, a lot of these roaches versus this many Immortals are not going to have a good time. Disruptor getting a big hit would be nice, too. The Mutalisk are trying to find damage, but the Stalker count, and they have Blink, a little bit too high. I remember one of the first times I tried to go Mutos against Protoss on Lost Temple, actually, back when that was a part of the map rotation. And the first time I came up against a Protoss who just had really good Blink micro, and my Mutas were kind of frustrated by that. Like, because every time you'd come in, Blink and 2 of your Mutas would die, and you'd have to get out. This is exactly what I was seeing. So, I don't know about these Mutas. Not a huge fan of Mutalisks, honestly, in the current meta. Although we have seen some wins recently for Zerg where they did open Mutalisks. And again, it's not mass Mutalisk, as we have Lurkers in production right now. Mutas, again, the blink, though. You show up and you try to kill something, there are stalkers ready to blink on top of you out of nowhere. Out of nowheresville. It is going to be extended thermal lance from PartinG. Working on that range upgrade. It's 3 basin, pretty happy. Rogue's on 4 bases. He's not incredibly ahead on any count here. He's pretty much where he needs to be. And he is going Lurkers, which I'm not a huge fan of when there are Disruptors out and these many Immortals. But if he gets a Hive, and he is, and he gets the fast burrow and burrow here, the Adaptive Talons upgrade for the Lurkers, I think that'd be a good thing for him. PartinG takes a 4th base bottom left. Hallucinated Phoenix come in and do see the Lurkers. I don't know if PartinG was paying attention, but it did seem like he saw the Lurkers. And honestly, at that point, you're going to be extended thermal lance ranged Colossus. You're going to be a bunch of Immortals. And that's kind of what beats this, is just honestly a huge Stalker Immortal play. Which is generally what we have, along with some Sentries, which Guardian Shield, maybe Force Fields could be good here. Sentry's a good unit. There you go, getting that range upgrade for the Lurkers too. Really, I think they might actually outrange Colossus with that upgrade. I have to double check that. I have to fact check it, but it's a big time upgrade. And the Mutas are trying to find stuff. It's just not ideal for them right now. They're trying. Rogue's creep spread is okay, but it's not Scarlet-esque by any stretch of the imagination. But he has a bajillion Lurkers now. That range upgrade's going to finish any second. He's going for Tunneling Claws. So that could be interesting. The burrow move for the Roach could be pretty good here. Muta's trying to find probes to kill, and he's killed 5 probes. I mean, he's going to lose some Mutalisks in the process. So maybe these aren't the best trades, these little mech Mutalisks flying around, getting massacred by cannons and stalkers and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, Rogue's creep spread is okay. It's just not a priority for him like it is for other players. Also, he hasn't expanded for a bit. He's been sitting here on 4 bases for some time. PartinG's expanding on pretty good times. And that feels like an expansion. There we go. So Rogue top right-hand corner is going to expand up that way. Here come 2 Colossus, a bunch of Stalkers, a few Immortals, and some Archons. Changelings getting burned alive because that's what happens. I thought there was a Nidus network. So Rogue going for the Nidus network here. With the what? The Lurkers? This has to be Lurkers in the Nidus, doesn't it? Look how far these Lurker spines go. Look how far. Nice Nova hit. But suddenly there's Lurkers inside your main base, and suddenly all your buildings are going to die. That's what this means. Oh, getting the range. No, he's going home. He's worried. He's worried about this attack, and he very well should be. The Colossus are standing, and the Mutalisks are trying to do what they can, but they're not doing very well versus this many Stalkers. The Lurkers can't hold against this many Immortals either. Actually, hold on. How many Immortals are there? Maybe there are 0. I take it back. The Stalkers are trading really well, though, and Rogue's 4th base is going to die. Lurkers are the natural base of PartinG, and Roach is in the main base of PartinG, and we're just kind of trading bases right now. We're sacking bases to kill other ones. Rogue can afford to lose that base, especially if he's going to kill 2 of PartinG's. But this is pretty intense stuff right now. Drones are getting pulled off the line. The Colossus show up and the drones can't attack anymore. They definitely can't. Roach is going after gateways. These Lurkers somehow got dealt with by something over this way. I don't know what could have possibly killed them that easily. But man, these Colossus putting in some work. 9 kills already, 12 kills already. On these Colossus, 39 drones have gone down. We're looking at 52 workers to 35 in favor of the Protoss. Lurker's got 2 kills. Lurker's got 5 kills. Army supply 63 to 77. Rogue is defending, actually Nidusing too. He wants to Nidus into this base and kill it. This is incredible. What a Lurker position from Rogue here, though. Just at the 3rd base, out of range of cannons. Zealot jumps on top, though, and is going to win that fight. Top right-hand base dies for Rogue. He is down to a 3 basing Zerg now, which is really bad. And then the army shows up to save the natural base, and we are officially looking at a 4 basing PartinG. versus a 3-basing Rogue, which is not good. I don't know about these Hydras, man. Not with these Colossus out. 18 kill Colossus, 12 kill Colossus, 12 kill Colossus. And DT's in the mix, just trying to mess things up a little bit. The Hydras stand and fight against 3 Colossus, which is a really bad idea. And we're looking at +2 attack on those Colossus, which is just fantastically terrifying. Some probes are dying. And the natural base is going to get spined down if there's not an answer to this single Lurker with all of 4 kills to his name. And he does get removed from the playing field. So Rogue is on 3 bases. This is really, really bad for him. He's at 50 army supply to 61 for PartinG. Most of his stuff is in a Nidus network somewhere. I guess some of it is here too, but it's, I mean, the economy by PartinG is healthier. He saved most of his production facilities. His nexuses are alive. He didn't lose a nexus at all. Just 4 warp gates and 2 hatcheries went down for Rogue. So Rogue is trying to retake the top right-hand base. Man, that Adaptive Talons upgrade is so fast. It is stupidly fast. So PartinG just casually killing a bunch of creep tumors and really putting Rogue in a corner here. I know nobody puts Baby in a corner, but Rogue is not Baby. And he is definitely being put in a corner here. Lurkers on high ground is actually a pretty good position. Especially if they have, you know, +3 attack, as they do. +3 splash is really nice. Couple Hydras die there. Some damage comes off the Colossus, but they can heal that back. The shields do return eventually. He needs Immortals is what he needs, and he is making one just now. Where did all his Immortals go? I don't know what killed his Immortals previously, but feels real bad to not have Immortals versus Lurkers. So Zealots without charge. Random old slow Zealots, but with the +2 attack. We're going to do all right versus these Zerglings, at least until some Hydras show up to assist, and then suddenly they're all dead. Yeah, Hydras with +3 attack are not a bad answer versus slow Zealots. Fast Zealots, more of a problem, but not so much versus the slow Zealots. First Stargate of the day on the way from PartinG here at the 17-minute mark of the match. Another Nidus coming up, but DT on the spot. We shall name this DT Johnny for being Johnny on the spot. Yeah, but Lurker range is good, you guys. Zerg players who are struggling a bit versus Protoss. I know the pros aren't really, but lower level players are, I promise. Lurkers with range is kind of insanely good. Unless there are disruptors, unless there's a ton of storm, unless there's a ton of Immortals, you're going to struggle against it. And not struggle cuddles either. Regular type struggles. PartinG has a bigger army supply, but again, the Stalkers aren't that great coming up ramps against Lurkers. There are so many of them, too. PartinG's decided to expand for the first time in a while for a 5th base. That Nexus is going to warp in, and he's getting Storm, and he's getting a replacement Robotics Bay. DT trying to make sure that Niduses can't come into the main base very easily if they come in at all. More tumors getting killed, and this is what I'm talking about. That is beautiful from PartinG. His awareness on where a Nidus is probably going to come up, and his DT patrolling is just fantastic. Super good. There's a free Overlord if you want it. I guess the only thing here that can shoot up is that Archon, so maybe not. The Stalkers are down this way, killing tumors. How many tumors have died, you may ask? Well, the answer is 20. It's 20, and there are 18 out on the field, so a pretty good job. Another Overlord down. Does not supply block Rogue. But the dance. Let the dance continue here. I just think once the Immortal count gets high enough for PartinG, he should be able to handle these Lurkers. We're looking at it. A little bit of a Ling counter attack here from Rogue. Upgrades on. Killing that DT. They do have no upgrades. I mean, they have speed. Boy, are they non-upgraded Zerglings. Okay, that's not going to bode well. The Blink Stalkers get right into the main base of Rogue, though. Lurker's trying to come up and handle this. Queen's going to die, but the Lurker should be able to defend well enough. At least until the Stalkers can blink out again. And they're in a position where they can. Oh, the Lurker's left. Get back in! Get back in! The Lurkers are gone! The Lurkers are leaving the house! Get back in. Kill the hive. Kill the Lurker den. These would be massive victories, PartinG. Come on, come on, come on. He's recalling. He made a choice. He made a choice to recall home. Try to defend against the sudden assault that Rogue decided to go for. Some way, somehow. Oh, these Lurkers, though. Ah, no! Oh, good blink. Holy smokes. And there's Vipers! Oh, no, Rogue's using Vipers. That is really... Oh, that's really, really bad for PartinG. Zerg players that use Vipers are 80% more likely to win. It's the truth. DTs going after the Lurkers. They are revealed, but there's nothing revealing the DTs. That's huge. Some storms going down on the Lurkers to weaken them up a bit. These Lurkers have to get out. And there's a quick pause, but we're back. Sinistro counting it down twice. For reasons unknown. I mean, this... Whoa! PartinG going for it with all the storms on planet Earth. Can't quite get those Lurkers dislodged. Meanwhile, Zealots are... Oh, now they have speed. Zealots are up here in Rogue's kind of his only source of income at the moment. And all these drones are going to die. PartinG's going to lose his 5th. First Nexus of the day to die in a beautiful red explosion. But Rogue losing his attempt at reestablishing his 4th base is not good for him. The Zealots versus these Hydras, I told you, when they have charge, they do better. But still not enough to win that engagement entirely. 16 drones down recently here. Mothership shows up. Oh, but there's an abduct ability here. Do you have enough Hydras? No, this is really just mass Lurker, is what it is. If you can, man, if you can snipe down these Overseers, but there are so many of them. Look at the damage +3 Lurkers do and the range that they have when they're fully upgraded. Behold and tremble mortals. Guess there are enough Hydras here that these probes are in trouble. Where are they even going? Maybe trying to... Golly. Alright. Trying to deal with this army while being cloaked, but the abduct into the Lurker Ball is instant death for everything, including all these Immortals. The Lurker Ball is not as healthy as it was a second ago, but it's still pretty darn scary. Zealots, Archons in the mix. They don't take bonus damage versus the Lurkers. They're not a bad idea. Oh, Zealot, even being healed up by shield battery is not going to survive long enough. Great Storm, walking your Archons through it. Maybe not the best idea. Oh, this is tight. This is a really, really good game. This might very well just get an epic tag. It really might. I mean, Rogue's down to 35 drones. He's got 1 mining base right now. He kind of has his 3rd, if you can count it as such. Suppose you could. And PartinG, on the other hand, he's not really healthy economically either. He probably has the same number of mineral patches that he's working from as Rogue does. Which, again, benefits him, just because being on equal economy versus a Zerg is fine. It's kind of where you want to live, actually, if you can help it. PartinG is replacing his 5th. Overlords are running about trying to see if there are areas wherein another Nidus network could possibly come up. But you're also kind of just sacrificing these Overlords. I mean, it's for the god of scouting, right? Scouting is good, but at the same time, replacing Overlords when you only have 400 minerals in your bank is not a great idea. Rogue's retaking his 4th or whatever the base this was. Maybe it was his 3rd. I can't remember at this stage. That was a while ago. Replacement Roachhorn coming in from Rogue. He did have... Yeah, he made roaches to deal with the adepts early. Can you believe this game started with a random Resonating Glaives adept attack? I certainly can. And our first Oracle of the day is on the way too, unless it got canceled. Nope, there he is. Or she is, I guess. There she is. We could name her, I guess, but there's too much going on. Look at these abducts. This is how you win versus Protoss, you guys, is you abduct the big ticket items into the Lurker Ball. Look at that mothership get away. PartinG's at 29 army supply. But yeah, Vipers are what's scary. Vipers are what make the Zerg army scary these days. And I've cast a couple games recently where both Rogue and I want to say Dark have just refused to make Vipers at all in their matchups. I'm telling you, Viper, good unit. I can't even tell what's happening here. There's obviously a time warp going on. The Lurkers are not really being opposed all that much. And PartinG kind of throwing away units here, which I'm not a super big fan of. He's in trouble. 27 army supply at the 25-minute mark of a match is really bad. And a Zerg army at your front door on your 5th, your newfound source of income, this might just be GG. PartinG held it as long as he very well could. But losing this base is going to hurt him immensely. 12. All of the probes are dying to this Lurker splash. And that's your good game. Rogue is your winner with a bit of an unorthodox strategy there. But gets the win in 25 minutes and 30 seconds with the Lurker Hydra detection ball of insanity. Great game. Hit that like button if you enjoyed that one. But yeah, 47,000 resources lost for PartinG and 43,000 lost for Rogue in 25 minutes is a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. 82 drones died, but guess who was able to overcome it? Yep, Rogue was. 67 probes died, which is brutal. Ended up losing 2 Nexuses to 2 hatcheries killed on the other side. How many Lurkers were killed? 45. 45 Lurkers died. PartinG ended up losing 3 Colossus, all 3 of his Colossus. And how many Immortals? Where's that count? 11 Immortals went down. All of his Immortals died. Whee! What a match. Really, really close stuff there. Both players taking it to the chin, but Rogue managing to hang on for the final count to get the win. All right, well, just fantastic game all around. I really don't know what else to say about it other than, wow. Just the positioning, just the map awareness, Rogue's consistent ability to scout this game, see what he needed to make, and then PartinG's inability to get up enough Immortals to deal with those Lurkers. Again, the abducts kind of negate them, though, don't they? We saw that in those final battles. It's rough. It's a rough strategy to deal with if you're Protoss, but by golly, it is super effective. All right, well, that's going to be it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you. This is another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.